All right, so welcome to Team Beautifully Polished May team call. Oh, I'm super excited to have everybody here. We are going to get motivated so we can tackle the rest of May and even get our minds right for our summer months. All right, so if this is your first call, I'm Debbie Bry. I am.
Okay, so I'm on the team call right now. So if you get a chance, it's amazing. And they're just recognition right now. And then Debbie.
Well, thanks. At least Haley didn't say they're terrible. Haley, we just heard you.
But what I was going to say
is this muter, she has no idea. At least she didn't say get on it. They're really bad. Woo, she saved herself on that one. Okay, I don't know where I was. I'm Debbie. I am the senior executive of Team Beautifully Polished, and I'm so excited to have everybody here. Put your hand up if it's your first Team Beautifully Polished team call. Anybody? I'm just telling you right now, when my husband gets on to speak in a minute, he's going to tell you guys to turn your cameras on. So I'll just give you a heads up now that he's going to tell you, because as the speaker, it's way more fun and exciting and motivating to talk to faces instead of names and black boxes. So if you have your camera off, you may want to, if you don't feel like you want your camera on, primp yourself now, because he's going to make you turn it on. All right. Okay. So let's talk about April. April was amazing. All right. I'm going to go through some numbers here. Put my glasses on. Our team sales, $1,107,000. Well, $1,107,11.52. So congrats to everybody on that. Everybody who put any type of sale in contributed to those team numbers. So kudos to you. Our cumulative team sales, $23,610,388. So we are almost at $25 million. I am so excited. That's amazing. We had 71 new team members join us, which is awesome. 29 new senior stylists. I'm going to go through their names right now. If you're one of them, then I say your name, get those hands up in the air, okay? Put your name in the chat if you want and say, I'm one. We have Julie Myers, Misty Karn, Gail Court, Stephanie Barron, Katie Corley, Danielle Ciano, Melody Chavez. Just a sec, I'm just kind of muting as I see some of them that are loud. Michelle Grasser, Ashley Thrush, Samantha Fenning, Carrie Edinger, Cassandra Turner, Sherry Gray, Kelly Gibson, Amber Welch, Christine Smith Patterson, Ryan Wolf, Terry Zajacek, Shelby Flowers, Kara Walker, Amanda Farrell, Amber Mikasa, Kate Condon, Maria Pimentel James, Stephanie Sobis, Jennifer Braken, Patricia Spencer, Aletha Hildebrandt, and Lauren Kalinowski. All right, a big round of applause to all those new senior stylists. That is super exciting. That means you have 2 team members. You've done 2,000 cumulative and 1,000 in the month you hit. That's amazing. So it might be people who hit Circle of Excellence. You hit Circle of Excellence and you can become a senior stylist. All right, then we had 7 new team leaders. Kristen Sazajika, Brittany Sampier, Roxana Hall, Jennifer Ledio, Lori Grandetti, Erica Robinette, and Melissa Gallantaud. So where are there any team leaders on here? Put your hands up. Anybody? All right, I see Brittany. All right, congrats to all those team leaders. Next, we had 2 directors, Lorena Ramirez Barron and Nicole Ryan. Congrats to you. Now, to get to director, you have to have a team leader plus 2 senior stylists. So that, you know, that takes a lot of, sorry. All right. I'm trying not to have to mute you guys, but it is getting louder. That takes consistency and enrolling and doing nail bars. So congrats to hit all of these ranks. So let's see, Circle of Excellence, much smaller than our month before. I think definitely enrolling was down in general across the board of Color Street because we had the enrolling special the month before. So if you know you have a loud background, I'm going to mute everybody pretty quick, but I'm trying not to right now during this. Dina Doyle, Haley Cameron, Stephanie Blaskowicz, Janice Hayes, Veronica Armijo Garcia, Courtney Huther, and Christine Smith Patterson all hit Circle of Excellence. So a much smaller group. So kudos to all of you in a month coming off of a promotion. That is phenomenal. And again, if you're new, Circle of Excellence means they sponsored 2 people plus sold $1,000. So they get extra money and either a necklace or a charm for the necklace if they've already earned it. So pretty amazing. All right. Top 20 in sales. I'm going to start at 20 and I will give the amounts when we get down to our top 5. So number 20, Allie DeJules. 19, Linda Gay. 18, Christine Smith Patterson. 17, Kelly Anderson. 16, Trina Sovereign. 15, Frida Sheldon. 14, Jill Keith. 13, Kelly Van. 12, Crystal Herb. 11, Cindy Dam. 10, Gail Galnick. 9, Jessica Mitchell. 8, Mary Blair. 7, Kim Jonas. 6, Joni Riza. 5, Tracy Wilson. I'm sorry. $4,282. Way to go, Tracy. Number 4, Courtney Huther with $5,653. Way to go, Courtney. Number 2, Darlene Lavoie, $5,856. Woo! And number 2, Janice Hayes, $5,906. Kudos to all of you. Way to go. Number 20, by the way, was 2,768. So again, if you are new, there was a time when our top 10, you were looking at $1,000, you could have been in the top 10. So people have really put the bar up to here now with their sales. So congrats to everybody on a phenomenal month. You guys I will get the rest of the newsletter was already emailed out, correct? I think Emmy emailed it. If not, I'll get it out. And you can see everybody by state and the top sellers on our team in the state, in the different states and all the rest for enrolling and everything else. So congratulations to everybody. A few announcements before I introduce Jeff. Okay, bingo boards. Oh, I thought I grabbed mine. Make sure all different executive legs.
Mary Catherine said no.
Okay, I'm gonna mute now that we're done with recognition. All right. Give me a sec. Okay, there we go. All right, so all the executives have posted in their groups the bingo board. So the whole team is doing it, but to make it easier and to give you guys more opportunity to win, each executive group posted it to their team and they're gonna draw winners. So when we break it up by executives, you have more opportunity to win than when we do it in one big team. But we're all celebrating together. So we're all working on the same bingo board, but we've dispersed it through the different teams. So make sure you're doing this as a guide. So all these are behaviors that are going to get your business moving. It's going to keep you on track, especially if you're feeling that spring fever of like, oh, I just want to be outside. It's the end of the school year. Things are crazy. You're wrapping things up. You know what? Just be consistent with these things to keep your hand on your business, to keep yourself BQ, to keep yourself sending out samples, to keep yourself watching professional development, or listening to things, to putting samples on people. It's going to keep you doing things and motivated because we're going to do prizes and you get to shout it out during Fiesta Friday. So I get it. We all right now, we're all ready for all the spring stuff. And it's okay to take time for yourself, but don't take so much time that all of a sudden you're like, oh no, now what am I going to do? Because now I have nothing now and nothing for the summer. So just keep doing things on the bingo board. Do the things on the calendar that I send out to keep your business moving. And that's going to set you up to be able to continue doing, getting parties booked up and continue to talk to customers, continue to talk about the business. By all means, we need to all have family time and everything. I've talked to you guys about that all the time. If you missed my my live training from last Wednesday, the past couple Wednesdays, I've been talking about that. If you've got to make sure you have balance in your life, but make sure you keep Color Street there. Don't drop it if you're trying to make something with the business. If you completely drop, then you got to start, and then you're starting from scratch, scratching yourself out of the hole. But it's okay to do some fun stuff and then do some Color Street stuff. All right. So use that bingo board to keep you on task and getting some stuff done. All right. Let me make sure. Okay. So, okay. Bingo board, hostess. Don't forget about our hostess promo right now. We are just over a third of the month right now, or about a third of the month done. You have plenty of time to open up a party for a hostess and get people in there having a party. Okay. You also can get your VIPs ordering through your link. So you can close your shopping link to take advantage of the hostess rewards. So get it. My goal is always to get my link to 1,000. Then I close it. I max out the rewards. So I have $300 more. I'll be there. I'll close it out by the end of the month, and I'll get the 2 sets that I can either use myself or use as incentives to get parties for next month, because if they didn't have a party this month, they're not going to earn them. So it's always a great way to then incentivize somebody else in the future to book a nail bar with you, because you have the exclusive set. Okay. Don't forget conference. You guys, there are still live tickets. So if you were on the fence, I know I posted at one point, would you be willing to go and watch it virtually in Orlando? Well, you can watch it in person. So if you were on the fence, I can't tell you enough of what it will do for your business. And I think that's another reason why we're all kind of feeling those of us who used to go to region meetings and do all this in-person things, we haven't had it. And those of you who haven't had it, it's what keeps you going month to month. I'm telling you, I can't wait till we're back to our monthly in-person things locally. And then depending where you live, there'll hopefully be other region people running them locally. Conference will get you there. So if you are debating with it, there are still tickets available. We will help work with you to get a hotel room. Some of us are going to Disney together. We have I think we have like 110 last I looked, 108, 110 people from our team going live. Even if you don't know anybody, you guys, there's going to be other people who are in the same boat. It will be amazing. 5,000 people. It will change anything you've ever seen. So definitely try to get that live ticket, because we're not going to set up an area for people to come watch it there virtually, because they can come and watch it in person. There's no that we were originally talking about that when we didn't think there would be virtual ticket options. There are though, or I mean live options. Okay. So with that said, whatever rank you want at conference, whether you're watching it virtually, whether you're watching the virtual premium, whether you're live, whatever you hit this month is what your name tag will say, what you're getting recognized as. So this is a big month to hit the rank you want for conference. All right. So definitely work on that. And finally, our conference t-shirt. I finally got them all. I could not figure out how to have you guys vote. So I finally figured it out. I got it emailed and posted. Last I looked, we had over 200 some votes in already, and I just sent it out tonight. So make sure you check your email. I sent it to everybody, or check Beautifully Polished for voting on our t-shirt. Whether you're watching it virtual, whether you're watching it at home by yourself, whether you're watching it in person, I'm going to have someone create the t-shirt, and then you'll just be able to go in and order it. And so then we can all take pictures of ourselves no matter where you're watching it, and feel like we're all one big community. There were a lot of great options there. So it's really fun to see the votes coming in. I've had a lot of fun watching that. So those are the main announcements I have for everybody today. And I think I want to get started right away with Jeff, so he can get us all ultra inspired. So like I said, I've been kind of feeling lately like, oh, it's that time of year. I'm just so excited for spring, but I still got to run my business, but I want to be outside, but I got to run my business. That whole, when you're kind of going back and forth, and I'm missing the in-person. I'm wanting COVID to be done. I want to book in-person nail bars now. So I just thought, what a great time for him to come in and kick off our summer. A year ago we were in COVID, and our sales we were through the roof. We couldn't keep track of everything. It was happening so fast. And now, people are doing things again. Some people have gone back to the nail salons, and I know some people have been kind of feeling that if you've been here a year. But you guys, everyone still is doing their nails. All right. There are still people who are wanting to have parties. It may take a little bit more work than it did a year ago because they were flocking to you, but I promise you they're still there. And so I thought, my husband has inspired me since I was 18 years old, watching him do direct sales. I've gone to his talks many times for his company, and he always finds a way to motivate me. I'd finish his meetings. I'm like, I need to go sell knives, because I would always get so excited. Thank God I found nail polish, so we didn't have to work together. We might have to kill each other if we did that. But so I'm super excited that he was willing to come and get us motivated for summer and get us already pumped up for conference, and just help us turn that, it's okay sometimes if you feel blah, but it's how long are you staying in the blah? We got to get past the blah and move on and figure out how we're going to get to work. So he's going to get us, anyone who's in the blah, he's getting us past the blah, and he's going to get us totally ready to hit our spring and hit our summer. So where are you, Jeff Bry? So a little bit about him. If this is your first time ever hearing him, he has spoke to our team before. He has been in direct sales since we were both 18 years old. We started dating in high school in senior year, fall of senior year. And by that summer, he started with the company he's with now. He's been with Cutco Knives. Our whole entire relationship, basically. So we have definitely seen the power of direct sales. I feel that is why I have such a passion for direct sales. It's a different environment than any other business you'll ever have. It's, as you know, it's positive, it's uplifting. So our whole life has been surrounded by Color Street people, but with his business. So I feel very fortunate that we have grown up with that lifestyle, that our kids have grown up in that lifestyle. And I'm super excited for him to be able to come and talk to you guys. I don't see him on here. He's in the basement. I'm upstairs.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Oh, there he is. All right. So I'm going to mute me because we don't need to hear me anymore. He told me I'm not allowed to sneak down there either. All right. Let me mute me, and you are good.
All right. Hello, everyone. First of all, Deb, can you see the screen? Just the screen?
Yes.
PowerPoint? That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful. I do not have my team who usually does all the tech stuff for me. So if I screw up a bunch with that, please forgive. First of all, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you had a great one. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for having me today. As Deb already mentioned, I would love to see everyone's wonderful faces. I always tease my crew and say, would you come to a meeting wearing a paper bag on your head? If the answer is no to that, then that's the same thing as not having your screen up. So there's probably, out of whatever 80 people, there's probably a couple of you that have a legitimate excuse and you're going, I can't, I've got this going on or that. And that's totally fine. But for the rest of you, we don't care what you're wearing right now or any of that stuff. We'd love to see you live via video if you can, but if not, no big deal. I'm excited to meet everyone, so to speak, and just to share a few thoughts. Before I dive in, I just want to say to the leaders, to the people that I know on this call who have been with the company for a few years now, I'm just proud to know all of you. I think about where you were, and I'd like you to think, especially, and I realize there's brand new people here as well, so I'll talk to you as well for most of the call. But for the leaders, think about where you were 36 months ago. Think about where you were 48 months ago, 4 years ago for some of you when you started in this business. Think about what you were doing, what you wanted to do with your life, where you were going. Some of you are in full-time jobs. Some of you were looking for a part-time gig, whatever it might be. But it's really crazy to think about where you are now. Many of you, the people I'm referring to, you've changed your family's lives for generations. And I know that's profound, but it's true. Through Color Street. That's so cool. This is not you changed this month's income and you got a new car, whatever. You changed your family's lives potentially for generations. So that's incredibly cool. But more importantly, I see some of your posts on social media, Jackie, Amanda, Dina, my wife, some others. The cool thing is that you're still the same fantastic mothers and wives and friends that you were before you started making a lot of money. So I just want to say kudos and say good for all of you. And if you're new here, trust me when I say you're blessed to have these ladies leading you. My strong advice would be to grab the coattails and follow, because I've seen what all of them have done in the last 12, 24, 36, 48 months. And it's really remarkable. So again, blessed to know you ladies. We're all in sales. Some of you may have been doing this for 4 years, some of you 4 days, but the bottom line is this, everybody. In sales, any sales, there are ups, there are downs, there are ebbs, there are flows, there are days you feel burnout, there are days you feel like you're on fire. And I do think that the COVID thing that Deb already mentioned to you, I'm saying the same thing to my team. Right now, last year at this time in April and May, we were destroying it. Our recruiting was like fishing with dynamite. It was just the easiest thing on the planet. So I tell my crew, hey, we're not comparing that. We still have the wind of the recruiting tsunami, I'll call it. We still have that at our backs this summer. But as Deb said, it's going to be harder. It's going to take a little bit more work, but you might find really high quality people at the same time, which is really, really important. So inspiration, by the way, it waxes and it wanes for everyone. You know, I always have people say to me, are you always this positive? And I say, no. When I'm on camera or when I'm on stage, I might be. Inspiration waxes and wanes for everyone. It's a practice. And here's the deal, though. You can't inspire others if you are feeling uninspired. So realize this, you're all in a phenomenal business with massive potential for financial gain. I've seen it. I've witnessed it by many, not just my wife. You're able to create stellar lifestyles for your families, and you're having fun, or you're in a business where you can have a lot of fun. So if you're in a season right now where you're not having fun, whether you're newer, veteran, whatever, I'm just going to say this, it's on you. And I hate to be harsh and I hate to point, but it's on you. You have choices to make, and I'm going to help you make some of those choices, hopefully today, if I can. But, as Deb already mentioned too, there are a lot of distractions, summer, right? Sun, family time, low sales month. That's a distraction. So how do you stay motivated? Or as I call it, how do you stay ultra inspired? So let me share some ideas. These are things that I've certainly practiced over 30 years in direct sales, some things that I certainly have to work on myself. But here's a huge key before I start. No one is perfect at all of these. Just because I'm sharing them doesn't mean I do all of them religiously, all right? And you shouldn't try to fix everything all at once. What I find with messages is that, or conferences or anything like that, it's a 24-hour euphoria. It's a buzz. It gets you jacked up, but then it will die. Whether this message does it or conference does it. Why do all businesses have meetings? They have meetings because we know you need to jack people up because they're going to come back down, and that's okay. But don't try to fix everything all at once. I've got 6 things I want to share with you. If you take all 6 and go, tomorrow I'm doing every one of them for the next 6 years, you're going to fail. All right. So don't try to fix it all at once. If you can get 1 or 2 nuggets that you can implement this week, to me, that's a W. That's what I always tell my people anyway. So we are all a work in progress. That's the bottom line. Becoming the best version of yourself, it's an ongoing exercise. It never, ever ends. So let me share just 6 ideas with you. The first one I have is this, and that is your why big enough? Or for some of you that have been here for a while, have you reevaluated your why? When's the last time you created a why for yourself? And if you did it 2 years ago, but you're not in the same place, you got to reevaluate it. You can't just say, well, my why is this. Have you really put the time into it? So if you're new, what is a why? Your why is the main reason you're doing what you're doing. Why are you at Color Street? Is it money? If it's money, how much money? Is it to help other people? I know that's my wife's biggest why, is to help others. Is it moving up the ranks? Is it getting that extra title? Is it paying for college for your kids? Is it buying a second home? Is it saving for retirement? Is it giving to a charity? Whatever. But the bottom line is this. Deb, you might want to mute yourself. I hear your papers rustling there. Without a mighty mission to give your days over to, you're gonna get bored and you're gonna get apathetic as well. You have to have a mighty mission that gets you up in the morning. So here's the deal. If you lose inspiration, go back to the drawing board and either create the vision of what it is that you want, or be brave and flexible enough in your mindset to reinvent the vision that you currently work from to more effectively move forward. You have to have dreams. And I do a whole thing with our company called Dream Crafting. And a vision inspires the willingness to strive for what you want. It inspires you to live your dream. And one of my favorite quotes from Malcomb Forbes is, when you cease to dream, you cease to live. When we stop dreaming, we slowly begin to, disengage from work and from our relationships and from life itself. Hope and dreams, that's what shapes our lives. Dreams inspire. This is step one. If I just said, if you want to be ultra inspired, you got to have a dream. Dreams flood our lives with passion and energy and purpose. So here's a big key. Once you establish your why, though, some of you are going, yep, I got it. I got my why. I know what it is. How often do you see it? This is a big key. You might know what it is, but we can all get lost in the minutia of emails and calls and this and that. And if you don't see visually your why, if you don't look at it, you're going to forget about it. So is it on your computer? Perhaps it's on your desktop or it's your screensaver. Is it in your calendar? Is it on your mirror when you wake up in the morning? Whenever, wherever. You just can't create a why and think, okay, I have it. Now what? You have to see it daily as a constant reminder of what you're building for. So I'm not going to talk about this, but just as an example, we do in our family dream crafting, and we do dream boards. I've been doing this with my wife and kids since our kids were 2 and 4 years old. And this is mine. It sits right in front of the treadmill. So I see it if I'm on the treadmill, or when I'm on the treadmill, I see this. So I can point to the key things that I want to focus on in my life. And it just reminds you, yeah, I've got these dreams. I've got these goals. I've got to stay focused on those. So a big key, establish your why and then put it in front of you. So not going to have time to do an exercise with that right now, but I encourage you to do that. And by the way, you veterans, you people that have been here 2, 3, 4 years, what's yours? And does it need to be reevaluated? Do you need to get that fire back by recreating your vision, your dream, your why? So the second point is this: get more from your day. We all have the same 24 hours to use or waste. So don't confuse movement with progress. Big point. Don't confuse movement with progress. The average American, I was blown away with this number. I thought it was low. I thought it was much higher than this. But the average American is on social media 2+ hours per day, 14 hours per week staring at the phone that give you what? By the way, many of us work via social media. I do. I know my wife does. I know many of you do. We do things that are work relating to social media, but you cannot tell me you don't get distracted and caught up in the non-work posts. If you're a TikTok fan, that is a crazy addictive, scary thing. Get away from it. But are you spending time on social media that's not work related? You can waste a lot of time that way. So a sub point under this is to plan your day the night before. So the night before, do you make a list? Do you know what the top 3 things are that must get done tomorrow? I always look at my planner the night before. I look at the next day and I go, okay, I've got my first call at blank time, but the key things that must get done outside of the scheduled calls are these 3 things, regardless of what happens. Because as I'll share in a minute, I never finish my day with my outlook cleared. I don't think I've ever gone, great, it's all done today. Let's go tomorrow. Never. It's always has more stuff on it. But if you make a list of the top 3 things that must get done, and then start with those earlier in the morning if you can, depending on your schedule. I wrote down to start your day with a win. Start your day with a win. This is a lot of psychology stuff here. I'm not going to go through it all, but it's been proven. If you start your day negative, if you start your day watching the news, Horrible. If you start your day with anything that's a loss, something that's bad to start your day, it has a lasting effect on the rest of your day. So this is a small one, but I share this, and I just share this with my kids. I saw an entire commencement speech by a general in the military at a college commencement ceremony. And this gentleman talked about how you need to make your bed first thing in the morning. That's something that small is the first win of the day. And some of you are laughing, you're going, that's nonsense. Again, it's very subconscious stuff, but it's just that I did something, I had a success. Small wins, daily small wins lead to a tsunami of success. So start your day with a win of some sort, whatever it might be. It might be a couple of things that I want to mention in a minute. Under the plan your day, I wrote, do the thing you want to do least first. So the thing you're dreading in your day, get it done first. Get it out of the way, literally, but most important, mentally. If you hate working out, do it in the morning. Now, I don't work out 9 days a week like my wife does, but when I do work out, I do it in the mornings. I rarely, ever do it at night. I hate it at night because I don't like doing it, period. So I do it in the morning so I get it out of my way. If you have calls you have to make, get it done in the morning. Whatever it is, get it done early. It's a massive mental thing. I wrote down the 50-10 rule, 50-10, 50/10 rule. Work for 50 minutes with focus and intensity. And then take 10 minutes to do something else. Walk, have a cup of coffee, chat with coworkers, gratitude, whatever. And then get back to work for 50 more minutes. I just met with my staff last week and I said, look, here's the deal. Summer, we all know this. Summer's critical to us. The second I get to the office, I bring my fire, and I bring my fire until the end of the day, whatever that time is. And there's a few breaks in there, but those 10-minute breaks are to walk or to, again, do some gratitude or whatever it might be. Get moving. Small side note, but worth mentioning. I did this last summer, especially for COVID. These articles were all over the place. You probably all saw it, but there was an article last summer called "What Happened When I Dressed Up to Work from Home for a Week?" What happened when I dressed up to work from home for a week? So without raising your hands, think about this. Does anyone have their favorite COVID outfits that are your morning go-tos, right? So, and again, it's fine, but here's a quote from the article. I'm just going to share what I shared with my crew. It's a physical and visual distinction, and it helps people set boundaries. Otherwise, you could feel that work never ends if you don't have different attire, right? You boost your own productivity. What we put on influences how we act. An hour ago, I had a hoodie on. My wife said, "Are you wearing that?" I said, "Of course I'm not, but it's comfortable, but I will wear this when I start talking to your crew because what we put on influences how we act." You also create boundaries. While the lines between work and home are blurring because of COVID, dressing in business or whatever it is for you, you guys are in direct sales, so you probably don't have to go throw on a suit or anything, but dressing in business wear during office hours can help to create a separation of your work and your personal. Wearing work clothes can send a signal, especially if you have a lot of kids around the house. It can send a signal that you're working and you shouldn't be disturbed at this time. So the last thing they said is when I change into casual clothes, and this might be more important than the work side of it. When I change into casual clothes, it's a physical and visual distinction, and it helps me set boundaries. Otherwise, you could feel like the work never ends. Again, your personal life could take over work time, or your work commitments can take over your personal time. Clothing can help separate that distinction. So just a small tip there. Third point is this: have a definitive schedule every week. And I know you're in sales, you're an entrepreneur, so it's okay to have some ebbs and flows, but you have to start with a foundation schedule so you know when to start working, but more importantly, when to stop working, which I tell my wife a lot, when to stop working. Okay. In sales, everybody, you could work 24 hours a day, couldn't you? It's not healthy. It's not good for you. If you're feeling any form of burnout, if you've been here for a while, it's probably because you work 7 days a week, even though you think, oh, I only worked an hour today. It kicked on an hour before you worked. You worked for an hour, and then it was still going an hour, in my wife's case, 2 hours after work, right? So the great thing about being your own boss is you can work when you want. The horrible thing about being your own boss is you can work when you want, right? Or you have to learn to turn it off. It's a real important thing to learn how to turn it off. As I mentioned earlier, I have never finished a whole daily task list in a day. I don't think ever, maybe on a Saturday or something, but I've never taken a real task list. And I could show you mine for tomorrow if you want to see it. Tomorrow's a day like this, got 12, 15 tasks outside of my 4 calls or 5 calls that I have. But you have to be okay with the fact that you're not going to finish it. You know, I'd rather have dinner with my family, watch a cooking show, sit on the patio with a glass of wine, whatever it is. I'd rather do that at the end of the day and be recharged for the next day to bring passion to the job versus trying to get everything done that day. You know, it's not possible, but here's the key. You have to be okay with it. And here's what I always told my people that work with me. It will all be there when you wake up. Okay. But you'll be better prepared to bring your fire to the day if you're well rested, if you got some time for your family, got some time for yourself, all those things, and your productivity will go through the roof. You know, I always tell our crew, you can work 7 days a week and think that you're going to beat the people that are working 5 or 6 days a week, but you're not. You're going to lose. I guarantee it. Why? Because the people that are working 5 or 6 days a week are recharging their batteries and they're bringing their fire during those 5 or 6 days. Where the person working 7 days a week just keeps going. They do okay, but then they slowly start to fade. So just a tip there. And just, you know, accept that you'll never be caught up. That's okay. Accept that the main areas of your life will never receive equally distributed attention or time or energy or effort. You know, when people say, well, I want my family life to be perfect. I want my health to be perfect. I want my work to be perfect. I want everything to be exact amount of time. That's just unrealistic. It just is. You're going to have different seasons of life. You know, what matters is that your energy, your time and efforts are in harmony together. And you're not neglecting any one area so much that it causes pain in all the other areas. So, for example, if your health is out of whack, you know, you don't need to quit your job and spend 3 hours a day at the gym. I've got a gentleman who works for me right now. He's 26 years old, incredibly sharp guy. And I just was meeting with his executive manager today, and he showed me, I'm looking at his numbers and I'm like, what is he doing? Well, he wants to run a marathon. And I just went, ugh. So he's going to throw away his whole job so he can go run a marathon, essentially. Balance is the key, right? But if you say, hey, I'm going to start with 20 minutes of working out if your health is out of whack and you're wholly present and you're focused on that exercise 3 days a week, watch what happens. But not only to the health, watch what happens to every other area of your life as well. Last point under this topic here is to eliminate distractions. Eliminate distractions. And I wrote down, fight to be dark. What I mean by that is you don't have to be available for every person all the time. That's hard in direct sales. It's hard when you're new at direct sales. You think, oh, no, they're calling me. I got to talk to them, or they're texting me. I got to talk to them. Nonsense. You have your schedule. That's it. I tell my people know my schedule. They know they can get me for sure. They know I will respond for sure at my time. You know, fight to be dark. You know, I get that people need your attention and they need your decisions. I get it, but fight to go dark and be completely unavailable during key times. You know, I promise you this, your business will not burn down and your team will figure it out. This is what I tell my crew all the time as well. I'm like, so someone calls you at 9 p.m. What are they going to say to you? They're either going to say, I sold a bunch of knives. You're going to go, woo, or I didn't sell anything. This sucks. I go, either way, who cares? The knives will be sold the next morning, or you can fix it the next morning. You need to protect you. You need to protect your time. Really important. You know, I lived a great life before text messages, didn't all of you? And life will go on if I miss one now, I promise. So learn to be comfortable with silence and focus, because the quality of your work, your planning, your dreaming, your whatever, you're preparing for a meeting, whatever, the quality of your work will drastically increase, and you'll be more productive. And the depth of your thinking will increase because you'll have long periods to dedicate to your thoughts. Next point, get some you time. Fill your own cup first. You're useless to everybody else if your cup isn't filled. You know, I'm blessed that my wife understands me, well, most of me, to the point that I said, hey, I want to go a couple of weeks ago to Hilton Head. That's my place where I go, and I want to plan, and I want to rejuvenate, and I want to get everything ready for the summer. Summer's our big time of my company, and I just want to plan. And she let me do that and gave me her blessing to do that so I could fill my own cup. So I was talking to my CEO a couple of days ago or last week, and I said, dude, I'm ready for summer. We're ready to kill it. I have planned. I am rejuvenated. I am on fire. I am ready to go. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't fill my cup first, if I didn't have that time to do that planning. So be stingy with your time. Protect it. It's yours. There's nothing
That's
more
how I was
important.
able to come and get you.
Say again.
I was able to get you that way. I'm going to be able to dangle that carrot. Will I let you go away for a week? This is just one day of that week. We get 6 more trainings.
Yeah, right. Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Here's the deal, everybody. It's easy to want to give, and that's a great trait. And it's easy to want to give to others in work and in life. But often saying no is exactly what you need. Saying no so that you can be better for everybody else. You know, again, here's the deal. If you know your big why, if you know what your big why is, filter requests through your why. So does this, having this call, doing this meeting, whatever, does this help me achieve my why? This. And if not, you may pass, you know? And last thing under this point is to take a break from your phone, from social media. These things are so distracting. Everybody, you know, how many times do you get in an elevator? What's the first thing everybody does when they get in an elevator? Every single person stares at their phone. It is such a horrible, horrible device. Take a break. Set up a schedule for yourself where you don't look at it. Power it down when you get home for 2 hours. That alone. By the way, if you're the person that looks at it all day and you go, Instagram, Facebook, email, Instagram, text, TikTok, Facebook, and that's what you do. Get 1 hour with it off. Don't try to fly before you're learning how to crawl. Turn it off for an hour and see if you can do it. And then when you turn it on, by the way, when does this end? This ends at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, turn it off at 9 till 10 or 10, whatever, and do it for an hour and then turn it back on. And you know what you're going to find? The world did not end. And you didn't learn anything new in that hour. You're not going to pick it up and go, oh my gosh, life altering, right? So take a break from the phone, from social media, take a break from work sometimes. Now, if I was in my call right now with my people, I'd say, look, some of you are not working. You don't need a break right now, but some of you do. So I know I'm talking to very different people. If you just started with us, hey, look at that. I work with Color Street. If you just started with Color Street, you don't need a break yet, but do it from time to time, right? But take time for yourself. Time alone is huge. I'm a huge fan of it. You know, the majority of time in your life will be spent in the consistent company of other people on a regular basis. You know, even when the connections you have are positive, it's still taxing on your energy to be constantly giving out. That's my job, by the way. My job is to do this, is to give out. So I hope you're not hearing it going, wow, he's not very nice to people. My job is to give and to give out, you know, daily, but it's vital to the human spirit to have a certain amount of time alone to detox, to re-energize. You know, inspiration cannot come from a dry well. And that's your energy resource, right? It's important to refuel and to take time for yourself. Second to last point, I believe, is you have to feed and protect your mind and your body. You have to feed and protect your mind and body. I've got just a few points under this. Number one is avoid the news. I don't care what station you watch. I don't care what your political affiliation is. Just avoid the news. It can only make you feel bad. They sell fear. That's what they do. So why pollute your brain with that nonsense? Just a thought. Second point under this is to read. And if you don't like to read, that's fine. There's audiobooks, of course, but how about just 10 pages a day of any book? 10. And not even 7 days a week. Try it twice, 3 times a week. It doesn't matter. Don't worry if you miss a day or two. I know people that set these goals. I want to read 5 books this year. And after 2 months, they don't do it. So then they they beat themselves up and it's like, oh, I suck. I'm a terrible human. Just start over. It's not a big deal. I also have friends that read 50 books a year. They read a book every single week and everything in between. But sometimes it only takes one sentence to get your mind in gear on what you want to achieve in your day or your business or the bigger picture of your life or your family or whatever. Reading something that hits home reminds you that your path to success is worth the hard work. So remember this with reading, besides the obvious content that you get from the author and what they're trying to give, it fires neurons in the brain based on your life. So you could read a page and someone else can read it completely different because of the season of life that we're in. It fires neurons in your brain based on your life. It inspires you to say, wait a second, this applies to this in my family or this in my work. And it causes connections. You're creating them, by the way. That author just dug them up for you. So even if and it just gave you a place, by the way, without that read, you wouldn't have just come up with them. It just wouldn't have come into your brain. So just a thought there, read 10 pages a day, a couple times a week until you like it or start to do it or whatever. Listen to podcasts. Those are great. You can learn a ton. You can get truly inspired in just a 20-minute walk. So I'll combine two things here. A 20-minute walk while listening to something positive to start the day. That's 3 things. 20 minutes. So people always say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to work out. Bull crap. You do have time. So you can't get up 20 minutes earlier. A 20-minute walk, listening to a podcast, start your day with a win. Those are 3 massive things. And then I'll combine it with this 4th one. This 4th one is to drink more water. And we all know this stuff, but I'll give you a quick hack on this, a quick hack on drinking more water. Some of you love water. It's easy. Some of you, my wife is drinking it now. She drinks probably 200 ounces a day. Some of you, it's harder, right? So I'll give you a life hack. Athletic Greens, it's called. Can you see that on the screen? If you're on a different screen, you might not see it. Just write down Athletic Greens. This is a packet you can get. It is, I drink it. Well, I wouldn't say every day, 5.5 days, 6 days a week. I drink this. This is the first thing I do when I get to the office is I pour this in at 12 ounces of water. This is all the greens you need for a day. Again, my wife would love to we just did. What did we just have for dinner? Baby spinach. Yum. Yum. No, I want a cheeseburger, but I do get my greens every day from this, and it's 12 ounces of water with this. Drink that. How about this? Pound by pound, I mean, wake up. The first thing you do, grab 10, 12, 15, 16 ounces of water and just slam it right when you wake up. These are all things that start your day the right way. So you're wondering why this is not inspiring. It's to get your brain working the right way so you can be inspired and so your body can be ready to go. If you do that, you drink 12 ounces right when you wake up, boom, before you brush your teeth, then you get one of these Athletic Greens. You can get them online, by the way, just athleticgreens.com. And don't look at the price and go, whoa, that's expensive. Look at the price and say, okay, that's breakfast. And it's a lot cheaper than breakfast, and it's a lot better for you than any other breakfast is going to be. You just did 25 ounces of water before you started anything. And if you drink 100 ounces in a day, you're a quarter of the way there before you even start your day. Next point under this is to get some sleep. I'm talking only to my wife right now. You guys could all, jump off for a second if you want. 6 to 8 hours is not only optimal, it's necessary. right? I remember when I was younger, I used to thrive on the fact that I didn't need to sleep and I outworked everybody and I could drink Mountain Dew and be charged up. Nonsense. You're going to crash. And by the way, it's just not good for your brain. Everyone is different as it relates to this, but some tips: get a routine or close to it. Similar time you go to bed, similar time you wake up. Don't look at your phone before bed. Don't look at your phone before bed. Social media before bed. It only can get the brain firing, positive or negative, by the way. It doesn't matter. It still keeps you awake. We need to sleep, and without enough sleep, you can't think right. You can't produce right. Sadness can set in and you don't know why. Irrational thoughts can creep in. It is so critical to our overall well-being. I have a buddy who works, he's my position, lives in Dallas. He's had COVID now for like 6 weeks and he went to the hospital multiple times. He's still in physical therapy. And the main problem, he had the oxygen issues right off the bat, but then he had insomnia so bad he could not sleep because of the steroids he was on, that he had to go to the emergency room for insomnia. That's what insomnia does to your brain. It's so critical that you get sleep. Last couple under this: listen to music. There's tons of psychology behind it and the brain. On the way to the office, I'm jamming, always jamming music on the way to the office. If I need a break, I might throw on my headphones and go for a walk. Make a playlist that's called inspiration. Put all of your favorite high energy tunes on it. And the last one under this, and then I'll get to my final thing, exercise. Again, I already mentioned that, so I'm not going to spend any time on it, but it doesn't mean 90 minutes at the gym. If I tried to keep up with my wife and exercise, I would be in the hospital. I'd die. That's not the point. Ask yourself this, if you walked 20 minutes a day, 3 days this week, would that be a market improvement for you? If so, start tomorrow. 20 minutes tomorrow morning. Boom. One other thing under this banner is you need to surround yourself with the right people. And I'm looking at the clock, so I'm going to speed up here. You need to surround yourself with the right people. Who you talk to matters big time. And it doesn't matter if someone is your best friend or your sister. If they're a negative human, if they're not positive or they're not supportive of your business or your family or whatever, talking to them can only hurt you. What you do with that information is up to you, but you need to immerse yourself in the right talent circle. And this business is a great place. And your leaders that I just mentioned at the beginning of the call are great people to help. Who you associate with dramatically influences the way you behave and how you perform. There's a science behind it. It involves concepts like attitudinal contagion, which means we subconsciously adopt the mindsets of the people that we're closest to and that we talk to. You don't even know it's happening. Who you talk to matters. So hang out with the people that make you want to become a better version of yourself. And I put together a list of questions to ask yourself as it relates to your friends. Who am I with when I laugh the most? Who am I with when I learn the most? Who am I with when I feel the most alive? Who shows up in my darkest hours? Who do I call when I'm proud and I want to celebrate? Who asks me about my dreams and goals? And who brings out the best in me? So a few questions for you there. Last point I have is this: realize what you have. And by that, I mean in life, everywhere, but certainly we're talking about Color Street here, right? Don't take it for granted. If we have 30 seconds, what I'd like to do is this: if you have a pen handy, if you're on your computer, whatever, why don't you make a list of 5 things real quick that you love about your job? 5 reasons you love your job. If you're brand new, just what attracted you to it? If you're a veteran of the business, what are the 5 big reasons that you love your job? Take 30 seconds real quick right now. As you're getting those written out, why don't you throw one in the chat? Throw your biggest one in the chat. Biggest reason you love your job. Chat's open, I'm assuming, Deb. chuck it in the chat. And then actually I can't see it. So Deb, if you can read some off as they're coming in. What do you love about your job?
Sorry, oh gosh, Color Street family, my term, I'm my own boss, philanthropy, the challenge, all the amazing people I'm meeting, the company cares, personal growth, connections, motivating people. It's all up to me, flexibility, too easy, the company, freedom.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I haven't heard money yet. I'm assuming some people have the money in there, but that's cool.
Not yet, leaders care.
That's awesome.
Camaraderie.
Here's what I'm going to recommend you do, everybody. If I can give you an assignment, so to speak, I'd make a list of 5 to 10 reasons what you love about your job or what you love about Color Street. And I would put that right next to your big whys. So you got a couple things on the mirror in your bathroom. You got your whys, 1, 2, 3. You've got your list of 5, 10 things you love about your job. It's reminders. Keep it in front of you. You know, here's the deal. The thoughts you think and the actions you take in the first 30 minutes after you wake up have a market effect on the rest of your day. The first 30 minutes have a market effect. So my first 30 minutes are what? I come downstairs, I slam my water, I go right to my sauna, I do my gratitudes, I do my devotions, I do my prayers. That's how I start every single day. The first 30 minutes after you wake up have a market effect on the rest of your day. And, you know, you're all very blessed to have found an opportunity where you can be yourself, you can have fun, you can surround yourself with great friends, you can make money. You are blessed. And I think it's really important not to forget that. You know, once you have something, it's easy to start to nitpick on the little things that you don't like. Oh, this nail color didn't come in this month, or corporate did this, or what. Those nitpicky things are easy. My company does it too. Every single job on the planet has things about it that people don't like. Who cares? Focus on the things that you do like about your job. You know, practice gratitude. It's probably the most important thing you can do daily, but probably the thing that gets pushed aside because you're too busy. So I could talk about gratitude for another whole hour. I won't do it, but here's the deal. If you want to be happy, be grateful. It's the foundation of human life. The only thing that all human beings have in common is they want to be happy. You know, gratitude is the antidote to misery and fear. And gratitude and fear, they can't stand the sight of each other. So keep a gratitude journal or an app. I'll just tell you the app if you like the idea. It's called Gratitude 365. Gratitude 365. I just go to it once, probably 3 times a week. I snap a picture, and then I write 5 things I'm grateful for that day. Massive, massive, massive. All the benefits of gratitude. I can't even go through all of them, but they are huge. Science shows that simply keeping a gratitude journal can significantly increase your well-being and your life satisfaction. So, question to ponder. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things that you thanked God for today? Something to think about, right? Again, I won't spend all the time on the gratitude because I know we're out of time here, but the benefits are huge. And just remember, it's not happiness that brings gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us the happiness. And, you know, gratitude is wine for the soul. So go on and get drunk. So to wrap this up, how do you stay ultra inspired? You ask yourself if your why is big enough, or reevaluate your why. Get more from your day. Have a definitive schedule every week. Get some you time. Feed and protect your mind and body, and then realize what you have. Thanks for having me. Have a blessed week.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. We so appreciate it. I'll take everybody off mute for a sec. Want to unshare your thingy so I can put everybody back up instead of just, yeah, there we go. All right. I'll unmute everybody if they want to say thank you. Hang on.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh,
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks
so
Welcome,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
See you guys. Great to see you.
That was very inspiring. I think we're all ready to write down, boy, that last question was a good question. You've never asked me that one either.
What one?
Think about the last things you thank God for, if those were the only things you had the next day. Great question.
Sorry. I'm better at work than I am at home. Sorry.
This is coming from the man who literally, he lives by his planner. So through COVID, our kids are, like everybody else. It's hard. It was tough for teenagers. So he put it in his planner. He literally sends us in our fam jam text group. How many days a week do we get quotes? 3 days a week, like clockwork. He sends the kids something in our, some motivational image, a quote. So without fail, there'll be something that he shares. So again, he adds it to his tasks, and that is something he does. So you do a pretty good job at home, I'm pretty sure. That's just one of many things you do.
Well, that was super inspiring. I totally needed that. So thank you.
I think we all did. So, and it's different hearing from somebody else, someone outside of our team too, that I think it's always nice to hear a different voice. So we so appreciate it. Anybody have any good takeaway they want to share?
I really loved, sorry if I interrupted anybody, shutting off the phone and turning that off and being sacred with that time is such a great reminder, because you can work this 24/7. So I totally loved hearing that too.
I had a little bit of disappointment today. Dina knows. And I really needed that. So yeah.
Oh, good.
So
Sorry about your
that was really good.
disappointment.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of dressing for the occasion. Dress, even though you work at home, dress for work and then dress casual. Separate the two, because they can blur each other very easily.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Even if it's jeans and a cuter t-shirt than your pajamas or sweatpants, right? Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just that something different. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a different takeaway, but when Jeff said, oh, no one's putting money down here for being thankful, I feel like sometimes it's hard to say that that's what we love and want from this business, but it's okay. Like, it's okay to push with that being a big why. So I always know right away, I wrote down, the way the product makes me feel, but then I just right away put the potential, like the income potential for my family. Like, you got to keep that in the forefront. If that's one of the things driving you to change that with your family, then keep that in the forefront. Because as he said, and we can tell you, there is such a huge, this business has so much potential. So keep that in there along with all the other amazing things. But that kind of hit home for me when he said that, because everyone's like, it's great, the people, and it is, and all those things we love, but keep that income goal too in the forefront, because ultimately that's why we're here.
It doesn't have to be the most important thing, but if
Right.
it said, join us free, no pay, none of you would be on this call right now. So
It was my number 4, money. I couldn't get to type it quick enough.
And somebody
You guys-
did I couldn't believe how fast it was. I couldn't even read through them quick enough, but there was some people who put money. I just didn't get down that far.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
saw them too, but I think you feel, I don't feel like I'm supposed to put that first.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I know what you
Have
mean.
this mindset of, and you want all the other things, but it's important to keep that piece, because ultimately that is why we're here. So, the other stuff is great. And this business has done so much more for me than I ever dreamt, but
Yeah.
the financial is the biggest piece. So just making sure whatever your goals are aligning with that just helped me. Like, that's something I have to keep. I have goals. I want to retire young. There's a lot of things I want to do, and I want to make sure that I can do that. And I can't do it if I don't keep everything in the forefront. So thank you, Jeff. That was just a good reminder.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's one
Yeah.
thing, I had this saying that was, dance like no one's dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's listening, live like it's heaven and earth. But there was also a part to it that said, work like you don't need the money. And to me, that was always like, when I volunteered, I loved what I was doing. So it was like, I was doing it because I didn't need the money. And this is how this business makes me feel. I'm working like I don't need the money, but the money's great. It's great to have it, but it doesn't make me feel like it's, I don't know, maybe I didn't get it all across, but it's an amazing business that can really be beneficial to you. So
Absolutely.
I would love to add something if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I have one headphone in, so I don't know if you guys could hear it, but I want to piggyback on what Amanda and Darlene said. I too felt like I shouldn't, like, well, what I wrote was freedom. For me, that was freedom to work remotely, freedom, like financial freedom, freedom to be with my dad in the hospital, freedom to do so much, you guys. And if you are a new stylist or a new team leader, you may not know what this business has done for many of us, including myself. And I used to start with just a jumpstart goal. And then it was, I earned that. So now I want to see what a senior stylist goal does. And then a team leader, and what are the benefits of team leader, and then director, and the luggage. So I always was looking at like what the next goal is. And I found that to be so rewarding, so satisfying. And then when my friend said to me, you only need 8 legs to be at the top of the company, I didn't know what legs meant. I didn't know what it meant to move somebody if I was a team leader or placement. I didn't really understand any of that. I just loved this nail polish. And I loved making some extra money that I couldn't do if I was just a teacher. I could work around the clock as a teacher, but never make more money. So that lit a fire inside me. And then I started learning how to enroll, or I learned how to book nail bars from a booking game. And I really started studying the business. And when you stay consistent and you show up and you like, I can't remember who said it, but when you show up, like you go to conference, you go to the meetings, you listen to Connect the Dots, when you are hobnobbing and rubbing shoulders with the people that you admire, I'm telling you, I think it was Jeff. He was like, you hang out with those people that you aspire to be, you will become them. Like you have to make those affirmations. You have to set your goals. You have to post them. I mean, I would never have gone to New York City. I would never have gone to San Antonio, Texas. And these are things that are within everyone who is listening here, whether live or replay. You have the capability to do this and for it to change your life. I will never, ever forget. And I'm going to share this, and it might embarrass some of you, but Debbie and Jeff are the best hostesses in the world. We are so lucky to be with this power couple, to have Debbie as our leader. She invited us to her basement, and I will never forget that meeting at her bar in the basement, countertop, whatever you want to call it. And we were saying, do you remember? Do you remember? We were like, I can't see you guys because I can only see myself right now. So it's so weird. But do you remember? Like it was me, Mary Carr, Jeff Bry. Jeff was serving us pickles. I don't know. And we were like, can you imagine making $5,000 in 1 month? And we were like, no way. No way. And we were like, but it could happen. Guess what? Within months, we were able to do that because we work nail bars, we enroll, we teach the new stylists how to earn Jumpstart. It's a simple business. Just keep it simple. And I will also never forget a team leader meeting. So some of you may not know this, a team leader meeting, and Debbie invited some rock stars in the company because she is a rock star and she hobnobs with these incredible people in her circle. And she invited a leader to talk to us and zoomed in and told us what she made. And I remember Amanda Rebecca, April Shook, Dina Doyle, Carrie Harris. I mean, I remember people in that basement. And when she said she made $30,000 in 1 month selling $10 nail polish, I was like, no way. Guess what? Debbie has a few people on her team making $30,000 a month. You guys, we don't talk about the money because we were like, many of us have this like weird, like we're not supposed to talk about it, but I want you guys to know, yes, it's amazing. It's a sisterhood. It is life-changing. It's an amazing product. It helps us with, just, I've grown a lot personally and professionally. I've done things I never imagined I would be able to do. But when Jeff said it changes your family's life for generations, it has. And it made me want to cry, Jeff. So I just want to let you guys know.
You're one of them I had in mind when I was saying it.
No, I quit my job. I saved one of my son's lives with this business and getting him treatment when we couldn't financially. We built a second home. We're building another home. I met the most amazing people, and I cannot tell you enough that when you work hard, even when it's hard, this business will change your life. That's all.
Wow.
I feel like we just got doubly motivated. Thank you, Jackie. That was so impromptu, but so amazing.
Oh, you're welcome. I cannot not share my story. And I never know when I should or who I should to. But you know, some of you
Always,
don't know.
more often.
Well, some of you don't know that I went to Vegas and I spoke, and I put this little, you know, testimony in to talk about my little light and darkness. And that's when my son was sick with addiction. And this business gave me a platform to help make people feel pretty. And it helped change my family's life. And meeting people like Debbie and getting closer with my girlfriends, Amanda, Dina, Heidi, I mean, April, my son's girlfriend. I mean, you guys, Darlene, Jen. I mean, there are so many people in this sisterhood that I can't imagine my life without. That if Color Street were to stop tomorrow, it has changed my life, and you are forever in my life. So
No, it's not stopping.
I know. I can't tell you enough to work hard when it's hard and when it sucks. Because let me tell you, I've had the winter from hell, but this sisterhood has lifted me. And you guys have given me strength, and Debbie, you've given me grace and provided that to me. And I can't imagine my life without direct sales, without Color Street, without all of you.
We can't imagine it without you either, Jackie.
Aw, thank you. I don't even know who said that. Who said that I can't see you guys?
Me, Debbie.
Oh, thanks, Amanda. Yeah, you guys, if you are on the fence for conference, put in there. I mean, get in there, you do whatever you can. I remember Amanda and I were like, you know, direct sales first summer, and we're like, we're going to conference. We just freaking signed up in June or July. I think I was June, Amanda was July. And we're like, we're going. We didn't know anything about it, but get in there and rub shoulders with these people who will help you change lives. Whether that's you make $50 next month or 100 or 500 or 5,000 or 30,000, get in there. And if you can't, that's okay. Get in there virtually. And then next year, make it a goal to get there in person.
Yes, and just listening to Mr. Park and his story and what he's been through, he says something different every time I go, and it's just so inspiring just to know what he's weathered for us, you know, and I held on to that during the pandemic because, you know, just if he could go through what he'd been through, he's a survivor, and I'm riding on that one because
he will not give up. That man could have given up. I mean, holy crap, the pandemic, we sold out of everything. We had Lucky Charms. That's the only thing we had was a St. Patrick's Day polish. And he loves this company. He loves you. He loves his family. Lucky. I mean, it's like a disaster. But boy, I mean, they listen. They freaking listen. And then they weren't gonna let 2019 people who promoted in the month or in the year of 2019, 2020. Many of our teammates on this call promoted, and we got roses. You know, they sent us roses because they felt so bad that we couldn't be recognized on stage. We got 24 long stem red roses because Mr. Park cares. He loves this company. He loves you. He wants to change lives. And now they reconsidered. Like they said, we don't have room to recognize 2019. We were revolting. We're like, wait, what? Like our sisters deserve this recognition. We don't know if it's going to be stage recognition. We don't know if it's going to be standing recognition. We don't know if it's going to be on the screen, but they listened to us, you guys. You are in the right place at the right time. Don't jump out of this boat. Work harder.
I love it. I can't even add anything to all that. You guys are everything.
I'm in tears. It's just, it's just so inspiring. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I wish I could see everybody. Yeah, I have goosebumps. I can't wait to hug you guys. You truly are in the right place at the right time.
100%. And again, we haven't even begun. I mean, we have Canada coming up and who knows what after that. So
yeah, Hey, and you know what? Ranking in the month of May is a huge deal because you will get your name tag for conference. There's pool parties, there's gatherings in June. If it's not a pool party, it's a party at Deb's house. If you rank it team leader or higher, if you're a stylist or a senior stylist, we just want you to know that you have got an empire of men and women to help support you, love you, hold your hand, and help you work hard when it's hard. So it's going to be fun. I love how Jeff says, start with gratitude. I really, truly start with gratitude every day. It makes a big difference. I listen to something inspirational. I fall asleep with my headphones in my head, actually. I usually have none in this year so that I can lay down on the pillow. And I listen to something inspirational because quiet time at night for me is a little bit tough, but that's what I do is I listen to I feed my brain with something good, something inspirational, because we have a choice. Gratitude is a choice. And I have to practice it. It's a muscle we need to practice, you guys. So choose gratitude. Practice that muscle. Exercise that muscle. And this business will change your life.
So on that note, everyone's assignment when we hang up is to write 5 things you're grateful for before you go to bed tonight. And then you can do it again in the morning, but 5 things. End tonight with 5 things. Maybe it's 5 things you're grateful for from this call that you picked up that you want to try. 5 things that were good through your day, but end your day, and then no more work. You're going to shut it all down. You're going to go do your tax time. Don't go on your phones. Go enjoy your families because you just worked. Even though you may not feel like this is work because it's not booking your parties or whatever, but this is work. So this counts as your work time.
Yeah, this is your multivitamin for your business. Show up. Those who show up, go up. Mwah.
All right, everybody. I hope this got everybody motivated where they need to be. So they're ready to kick off their spring and summer. They're ready to get their conference plans. You're ready to get back to work. If you've been, kind of whatever out there floating around and you're ready to be inspired with both your family life and your business. So
thanks, Deb.
Everybody for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.